In today's video, I'm going to share how I sell my pigs so quickly in a rural area that it almost feels like I'm always lying. If you have ever tried selling pigs, especially in a rural community, you know it can be very challenging, right? But trust me, with a little strategy and the right mindset, you can sell your pigs faster than you ever think. Let me just show you the way. So selling pigs in a rural area wasn't always this easy. At first, I was targeting the wrong group. Take note of that. I tried selling to the young people around here, but most of them gave up. So to me, I wanted to get as many people to get into pig farming as possible, but the workload was not for them, so they gave up. So they would buy the pigs and then realize how much work was involved, from feeding them to handling everything else. So they would always tell me it's too hard and they ended up giving up. But I wasn't going to give up. I figured that the people I really needed to focus on were those who buy pigs to slaughter for meat. That's when everything started to click for me. I decided to bring a local butcher, a man who slaughtered the pigs and sold the meat. I worked with him because he had the right connection with the customers who needed the pork. The first pig I sold to him, I priced it very cheaply to spark his interest and also just to test the waters and the idea I had. Now, this was a very big move for me when I did that. I wanted to also see how honest this guy was going to be, so I made sure to watch his reactions. To my surprise, he was totally honest. He told me exactly how much he made from the pig, even though I already had a good idea of what he was supposed to get from the pig. He showed me that I could trust him and that we could build something together. So in our next deal, I charged him the full amount for the pig, and by the third deal, I didn't even bother pricing the pig at all because I had already trusted this man. I simply asked him to sell it and tell me how much he made, and then I would take my cut. That's when our relationship all began. So before I brought in the butcher, I decided to do a little test run to gauge the demand. So one Sunday, I slaughtered a pig myself and announced that I would be selling it to anyone interested in pork. I made a list of people who registered and I gave them the chance to buy pork at affordable price. And guess what happened? The pork was not even enough to meet their demand. I had to slaughter another pig just 3 days after the first one to keep up with the orders from the people who couldn't get from the first time. That's when I knew I got the right point. At this point, I brought in the local butcher and together we started to figure out how to distribute the pork in a way that would satisfy the community. But there was a challenge. The butcher wanted to sell the pork just like it had been done years ago. Cheap prices, large portions, and he was even telling me that if he cuts it in a way that is not going to suit the customers, they're going to run and leave me, they're not going to patronize service. I said no, if you also do that, I'll be at loss and the customers will be happy whilst I will go out of business. So he was worried that if he even raised the prices or reduced the portions, the customers wouldn't come at all. I said, well, let me explain to you. So I took my time to explain to him that the prices have to go up because of the feeding cost. I encouraged him to educate his customers about the economy and how feed prices were affecting the cost of pork. To my surprise, the customers understood this man and they continued buying from him. So it was great to see him making some extra income each week from this. And it showed me that people are understanding when you are very transparent with them and you give them what they want. So here is also a funny twist of everything that I had with this man. So this man used to be a butcher for goats, and I honestly don't get it. One day he dropped his whole goat business just to focus entirely on my pig farms. I mean, I'm happy for him, but I still wonder what made him switch completely to pig farming. The demand for pork in the area has always been good, and I'm glad we could team up to make it work. Let me just add this, before I brought in the local butcher to assist me with the slaughtering, like I said, initially the target was just to get as many people as possible into pig farming, but the workload was too much for them that they gave up. Now I was getting people outside the community to buy their pigs from me for slaughter. I didn't know that my community people actually wanted the pork, but just that they can't afford the whole pig, so they wanted a cut. But I don't know what happened, they couldn't approach me, none of them was telling me anything. So I sat down quietly one day and I decided to go out, do some informal interview with them, just have some idea of what they want. And it was at that point I realized that they actually wanted to get pork, but they can't buy the whole pig. So I got to realize that it means if I'm able to slaughter and I start distributing portions of this pork to these people, they are going to buy. And that was where I started with the first test on the Sunday, and God being so good, the animal got finished even there before I even washed the knife I used for the butchering. And ever since, that's why I'm always here making noise about pig farming. Do you think that if I was not getting the buyers for my animals, I would still be here making this noise? No, maybe I would have switched into a different business altogether. But I found this sweet spot that I'm hitting very hard on, and it's helping me sustain my farm business profitably. Which is something in 2025 we are going all in, and we want to increase our production this year. So to just conclude this, I want you to know that if you are struggling to sell your pigs or any livestock, remember, it's not just about the animals you're raising. It is also about you understanding your customers, like the people you intend serving. So you just need to adjust your timing and also work with people who can help you grow. This butcher works independently of me. He's somewhere else. The only thing is he comes to pick the animals, he sends them and brings me my money back. And he has become too close to me that he even helps me with farm activities. And it comes when I'm working, he does join me in the cleaning, sometimes in the feeding, and also offloading some of the feed I take to the site. And as well as when I'm uprooting grasses around the farm to give to these animals, he comes around to help me uproot the grasses. So it's more or less like we are not a family like that, you understand? So when I'm giving my animal to him like this, I don't even, we don't bargain for long. I just told him, there's one pig available, I want you to come take it. I'm not there on the farm myself, but my mom is available. Once you get there, as you said, just give me a call, let me know that the animal is no more on the farm for that day, and I'm good to go with it. But the issue is that since he started picking animals from my farm to slaughter, I've never gone to his site to visit him. But I'll try one day and go there, visit him, see what is happening and how he's serving the people there. But since I've never heard any complaint from his customers, I think he's doing the right thing and they're happy. The way I just said it, it might sound very easy and interesting, but I must tell you that there have been an instance where somebody came to price my animal at, I think it was 1,400 Ghana cedis. That was 2022. And I refused to give to the person. And after close to a month, somebody came and was giving me 900 Ghana cedis for the same animal. I look at the man, I said, this man, you don't go to church. You don't fear God at all. Can you imagine? An animal somebody gave 1,400, I refuse. You fed the animal for an extra month, you are coming to reduce the price. You know what, but one thing is you can't just save everybody. So once you see that somebody is just there to stress you, there are people, they are not just your customers. No matter what you do, they will come and frustrate you. If you pay close attention to them, you will not get time for the right people. So such are the people that I don't mind. I'll just drive you away. I will not have anything to do with you. I'll prefer to keep my animals on my farm for as long as I want, and then you also go to another place. But one thing is, after doing that to this same man, I think it was about a year, after a year, 2023, he came back to my farm. And this time he took me very serious because he knew that I was not going to condone him. Should he make those previous mistakes, I'm going to just drive him away. And that was when I mentioned my prices. Then he was talking properly. I said, wow, so it means you can talk this way. And the first time you came, you were trying to misbehave. But the thing is, it's like, if I want to continue with this kind of video, it funnies me a lot. You know, like there was one time a man also came to my farm. You know, it's a remote area. So we have these bushes around. He went to hunting and then he got a grass cutter. After killing the grass cutter in the bush, he sold the grass cutter, and that early morning he passed by my farm. Then he wants to buy a pig with the money of that grass cutter. And guess the amount he was holding? 450 Ghana cedis to buy a pig from me. I looked at the guy and I was laughing. I said, look, you're not very serious at all. So like, with this kind of business, it's always funny. But at least we try to make fun of some of them and then we move on with our activities. As humble as I am, there are places that when I go, my humility vanishes. And one of the places is when I'm walking by a drinking spot where I know that they are serving my pork over there. Actually, I just like that kind of guy lifestyle. Inside my head, no, it rings in my head. And I'm doing this guy, knowing that these people are enjoying my product, you see. So like, that's the only moment that I say, oh, Charlie. But on a more serious note, if you have not gotten yourself one of these books, just go do that now. And let's have time for other things aside answering repeated questions.